Well, hello. How's it going out there? I'm Ed Parcaut, and I'm with Bobby Atkins, who is my co-host for today. Thanks, Bobby, for showing up.
Thank you. My pleasure, Ed. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, got to keep that information flowing out there. Yeah, we've had some busy weeks lately that I think we missed earlier this week on Tuesday, but what are
We
you gonna?
did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have enough out there they can go back and see some other stuff, right? And I'm going to work on getting that picture you sent me of what we're going to talk about, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Pardon me, my allergies are exceptionally bad today, but
That's okay. It's that time of year with the almond blossoms are coming to the end.
it is. Every time people take family pictures, I know that my nose is going to start running because,
Yeah, you should get some of that allergy medicine and stuff like that.
Oh, this is with allergy medicine. I'm a mess without some kind of antihistamine, but
yeah, well, got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat all this. All right, so today we kind of did it with buyer and seller. Beware, protect your data that's out there. And why don't you tell the story what happened, and then we'll go more in detail what was going on.
Okay.
And you don't. So basically, please don't say the name of the company,
Yes.
but we'll just say in general, most of these apps do this. So go ahead. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna send this over and take care of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So there was a listing that a client of mine wanted to view. And so I scheduled a viewing. Well, it turns out that they don't, there's a way you can schedule a viewing without downloading their app, but they make it really difficult.
This is a company owned, say, like, we're talking like a Realtor.com owned listing, or I'm not saying, or a Zillow owned listing, or a open buyer kind of open listing. Their listing is what we're talking about.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
yes,
something like that.
This is
as an example. Okay,
correct. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And so this is listed through them, and it's a real hassle to even try and set up a viewing. And so you can call and get a code, and they send it to you half hour ahead of time. Long story short, I had to download the app, and it was within. Oh, okay. I downloaded the app. I made a phone call to a cold lead. There was a referral from church, so there wasn't anybody that would have known
this person.
Yes, this person's never called for loan modification, anything like that, or question about listing their home. So, oh, we got dinged, huh?
Keep going. That was probably me telling me my picture's not showing up. Anyway,
Gotcha.
Go. Yeah.
So I have a phone conversation with this person about listing their home, and I hang up, and within 60 seconds, they are getting a phone call back from my phone number. It's showing up as my number, but when they answer the phone, they're saying, this is so-and-so with such and such company. You don't want to work with Robert Atkins. You want to list your home with us directly. We'll save you all the commissions.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you have no idea that any of this information that could happen, right? I mean, that's correct, you didn't sign up for on this application that you download or in this stuff that they could, go ahead and be able to call my buyer and all that kind of stuff, right? That stuff didn't happen, right?
No, correct. Yeah. And like I said, it was a hassle. So when I went to go even try and show the house, I show up and the code's not working. And then I had to talk to tech support. And then they said, well, we'll have someone come out within 72 hours.
So that you can get into that house is what you're saying.
Exactly. Right? Yes. Yes. It was pretty ridiculous.
Well, so it sounds to me like they're trying to make it to where only certain people that they want can deal with it. Right. Is that what we're saying?
Exactly. And obviously what they did was they took advantage of my data, and it sounds like even my phone conversation, and we're able to glean information from that to try and generate seller or leads on sellers for like wholesalers.
Right. So anybody you called, that's what they're looking to do. I'm going to share the screen of your conversation. Share screen. It's over here. Share. Boom. And then we'll see. All right. So here's your conversation. So, all right. No, this is your app functionality. So basically what this is saying is when you download these apps, say on Open Door, Realtor.com, or any of those. I'm just generally saying all of them out there. We're not trying to say the actual one doing this, but they're tracking your information is what you're saying, unless you tell them not to track your information, correct?
Yeah, unless you disable that. And there was no prompt saying like, I agree to these terms of service, blah, blah, blah. It was, you download the app. It's, it's downloaded within like, a minute. And then they say, great, now you can start showing homes.
I'm just amazed how much information that you don't know you're giving these companies, and how they're gathering that information from your phone and calling your clients And so someone would tell you to go back to the landline to make calls to your clients.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, because I know we all use our cell phone. We all use that. But what we don't understand is we're being tracked. We're being tracked by Google. We're being tracked by everything. Do you have an Apple phone?
Yes.
iPhone? So, I mean, was that app already? So when you opened it, it didn't say that, hey, this application is tracking you. Do you want to be tracked? It didn't say that on the iPhone, because usually they've been saying that for a while.
So it'll show your location data, because obviously they have to
Oh,
know that you're at the
gotcha.
house,
Right.
right? And so they'll send you a code, and then you put it in the app, and it's supposed to unlock because they have all these electronic door locks that work directly with their app.
Right. So what you're saying is, just if you're downloading this stuff, especially if you're helping clients, or even if you are a client, just be careful. They are tracking you. You want to turn off this information so you're not giving them that information about you. And I'm telling you, because I was told yesterday that I could actually buy all these different media outlets, and they could actually put my commercials to people with a certain FICO score, a certain this, and that stuff used to be private information that is not given out. And one of the issues we run into in our industry is, when we run credit, it used to be if you took the phone number out and the email out, then they would get less calls. But the way it is now is they sell that as a trigger lead to another company to call you and see if they can get the business from you. And the problem is, they call as that company, just like they did with your phone number. They do the same thing in our industry, saying, hey, you started a loan, a process with us, and we want to get you this. Here's this from, and they, I don't want to say lie to you, but it's the closest thing you can get to without saying it's a lie. And you have to be real careful. So what we tell people to do is opt out. Go to their, opt out on their website to get rid of all those pre-qualified applications that you can get sent to you.
Yeah.
And the other thing you want to do is get on the do not call list with your phone, and set that up and keep that up. And then they can't call you because you're on the do not call list, and that will take all those headaches away from you. Because even though I do what I can and get my people, they still get hounded by people, right?
Yes. Yeah. And so that's the whole issue that I've had. And I'm glad I figured it out right away, because this client is elderly and did not want to get a ton of phone calls. And from the time that I called them and had that conversation until we put them on the do not call list, the phone was ringing off the hook. And it was, from all different parts of California, but they're all saying the same thing. Like, hey, look, we're cash buyers. We'll save you the commission. We'll pay for your house cash right now. And really, in honesty, what they're doing, they're trying to buy your house for 60 to 100 grand below market value, turn around, put it right back on the market. So they're not doing you any favors. They're not going to get you full market value, and they're going to spam, the crap out of you, calling you all the time. And they call it all the way up until like 9:30 at night.
Yeah, well, for us, like, if I had somebody call me and I run their credit to help them and say that they were with a certain company, and I don't want to get in trouble here, but it's something to do with like rockets. And basically they hound them to a point where, because they don't want to lose that client. They think they're losing it to refinance. They're thinking this, and they hound them. I'm not talking like one phone call. I mean, it is so many phone calls. It's ridiculous. And my problem is, if you're that much of a company that you have to do that to the client, maybe there's a reason they're not coming back to you in the first place.
Exactly. You're annoying to begin with.
Not only that, it's just, it's just different. Some of them are really good with refinances. I'm not going to knock them on that. I think I'm better at that and purchases, because we want to make sure you have the whole process is an easy process and so much better for you. Some of these companies don't look at it that way, and they look at it as a dollar. They want, well, I'm saving you so much money. You're saving an extra $200 with us, not payment wise, but cost wise. That's not the case. We can, match anybody, and that's because we all get our rates from the same place.
Well, and I guess the thing that always goes back to is, there's always someone trying to reinvent the wheel. But in this kind of industry, especially when we're dealing with, the largest purchase someone's life, the largest debt in your case, right, that they're taking out, you need to have that person-to-person relationship. And it's so important to even have an in-person relationship with them. Even though I know as a lender, you can, never meet somebody, talk to them on the phone. But if someone needed to come down and have a conversation with you, you have a physical location, and they can come and look at you face to face.
Right. Well, have you ever tried to, if you have an issue with a Facebook or any of those places, and try to talk to somebody? Good luck.
Yeah.
Right. I
Well,
mean, I had an issue. I forget what the one company I had an issue with, and I couldn't get a hold of them at all. I ended up having to go into the chat feature to resolve it, but that's not what I want to do. I'm old school. I want, and a lot of people since COVID and opening up, they want to come in and see you face to face, and they want to know the process. They don't want to be on the other side of the screen like we are.
yeah. No, I agree. So anyway, like, you know, like the title says, buyer and seller beware, because these applications that claim they're going to, you know, make your life simpler and get you a good deal for your house are really just stealing your data.
Or using your data. They're not
Okay.
stealing it because you agreed to say that they could have access to your data. We're just saying, understand that when you download those apps, they have access to all your data on your phone.
Yes.
The phone calls you receive, the text messages, everything like that.
That one even showed emails and pictures. It's like, what do you need pictures for? You know, just because they're just grabbing as much information as they can.
Why not? That's what they're. Those things are information companies, just like we became media companies who do lending and who do real estate, right? We got to get this information out there. The same, they're just getting your data. Whoever has the most data wins, and you just got to be careful. All we're saying is be very careful. Turn that stuff off. Get rid of it. If you downloaded it, get rid of it when you're done with it. You know, understand that go in there and stop certain tracking so that that issue isn't happening to you, because it's not there for your best benefit. It's just there they want to get your business, which is, I understand that, but in this market, they're gonna, you know, anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want? Is that good enough for you today?
That's good. That just, you know, that was something I, you know, kind of put two and two together last week with, and I was like, man, we need to talk about this because it's something that's only increasing in frequency. You know, seeing these online brokerages that have apps you can download. So,
well, and you know, and I have an app, but I'm not tracking everything on your phone, right? I don't do that. I only want certain information. These people, that's their whole thing is about app, so they know which data, what to sell. I mean, go back. Let's talk about what happened with Zillow with their housing stuff. They were flipping homes, right? What they would do is they would keep track of areas that people were searching, and then they'd go in that area and buy homes, fix them up, and sell them back to you.
yeah.
Wasn't that nice of them to go in there and buy the house, fix it up, and sell it back to you, instead of they found out where everybody was looking at? Yes, they didn't have the process down of how to do it once they bought it and fixed it and moved on. And they did sell it, and they only lost a little bit cents per share, but these people are tracking you and figuring out what you're doing, and it's for their benefit, not your benefit. So be careful. So go get on the do not call list, go through, get rid of all the pre-app screening stuff, go to that website, get rid of that information. And then it was just like years ago when at your house, when we had so much bulk rate mail would come to all the different postcards of all the different types of refinance. I mean, you'd throw away this much of mail that was all about refinancing and stuff, and then people stopped doing it because it was so expensive. Well, this is cheaper, so it's easier for them to call. And a lot of these call centers, I don't know if you know this, but they're out of the Philippines or out of other countries. They're not necessarily in the United States that are calling you, trying to get you to go with them. So you got to be careful there.
Well, and you know, so I helped this client set themselves up on the do not call list because, like I said, they're elderly. So
Right.
I helped them do that, and it's resolved some of the calls. So I guess some of these lead generation companies are saying, "Oh, look, we scrubbed it through the do not call. Let's not call them." But I think it's one of those ones you ask for forgiveness, not permission. And I think these companies are just pushing it.
Well, it depends on where their offices are, right?
Yeah.
How are they? How is do not call of? I mean, look at the war in Russia. Everything is going on. We don't have any power over in certain places, so that's how they're getting around the do not call list, right? And I mean, you can set it up on your phone to where you don't get certain calls, right? That those numbers are, that those numbers are not who you want to talk to. They tell you that, but you're getting a lot of phone calls. So just set up the other way. You'll get rid of most of them, and then the ones who keep coming through, you can just tell them stop calling me. All right, that's it.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ed. I appreciate it, man.
No, and if you like what we do here, make sure you hit the button. And I appreciate you coming on here and helping me out. And we're doing these things twice a week, and we'll get back to full schedule next week. So watch out, people. We'll have more out there.
All right.
All right.